Channel Control. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. I think Matt is still full from Thanksgiving and he's sleeping off that turkey still. Or actually, no, I think he might be in the Matt sleep. That's what it is. So, this is going to be awkward. It's like a dead body next to me.
And that's why I hate all of you. What? Hi.
Hey, Matt. How you doing?
What day is it?
Huh?
What day is it?
25th, I think.
Who changed my clothes?
I didn't do it. You're cute and everything. You ain't that cute. Just saying.
Thanks. I mean,
yeah. All right.
Maybe.
So, Thanksgiving, how did you folks spend it? You can tell us down below in the little message area. How much turkey you ate, how much turkey you did not eat, how much ham, stuffing you stuffed into your face hole.
Your rat hole?
Your rat hole.
So, I mean, I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a fun time. I overeat and I sleep a lot and I watch a lot of football. So, what more do you want out of Thanksgiving?
For your teams to win and the food to be good.
Well, your Giants are terrible. Also, the Cowboys are terrible. So, there is that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Silver Linings playbook.
I'm honestly not even following them this season.
Well, no one should be. They're terrible.
Yeah.
They're awful.
You know, with all this boycott football and stuff, I'm not just with the crowd. I just don't care.
Yeah.
The Giants are so bad. I'm like, man, fuck football.
I won't lie to you. I love football and I watch it religiously. I follow it mostly right now because of my fantasy football teams and also because I love competition. I'm a big guy about competition. But when Deshaun Watson got injured for the Texans, I was kind of like, wow, screw it all. Because like that was our quarterback. Like that was our guy. He was going to like lead us to the promised land. And then he gets a stupid ACL injury and now he's gone for the rest of the year.
And that's how the cookie crumbles, folks.
I know you lost Odell.
Man,
Odell.
not even talk about this.
You had him for one game. Odell. No Dale.
I remember that one game he sat there on the sidelines. Just you can see the dollar signs. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
We're terrible.
I'm out one game and y'all losing this bad. I'm gonna get paid next season. And then he gets all screwed up and then he can't play. So
I can't remember. Did he win the first game? Like, did the Giants win the first game that he was in? I feel like they did. And then they just died after that. Yeah.
There was one where a lot of their starters were out, injured or whatever, and I think they won that game.
They beat Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that guy Orleans Darkwa,
yeah.
Yeah, he just
blew up.
I mean, he was on the team forever.
Yeah.
Not doing nothing.
Not a damn thing.
All the starters out, so it's like, hey, put him in. Oh, wait, he can play football?
Yeah. Thank God he can play football. I actually like him. I picked him up in like every league. But anyway, this is not a football show. This isn't like nerd interference or anything because that's not a thing. No, instead, this is Channel Control. We talk about TV.
Well, that's on TV.
That is on. So but like TV scripted shows.
Scripted
until like Big Brother comes back because like that's like the only reality show you watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
God.
My parents tried to get my wife and I to watch Survivor, but we had just gone out to dinner and we came back and we were all so sleepy that we all passed out, and so we're all like passed out in my living room while Survivor is going on, and like we all wake up and my parents are like, "Okay, we're leaving," and my dad's like, Who got kicked off? Who got voted off of the island? And my mom's like, I don't know. I think it was Cole, but I have no idea why. And we're all just like, I have no idea who even Cole is. So that's cool. Previously on Survivor.
Absolutely
no one was awake.
Nothing. So, okay, let's get into our first and possibly our only real story this week because things are dying down. And the only other stories out there is some dude touched a woman.
Oh no! Again?
That's all the stories.
It keeps happening.
I think the last number someone said it was up to 55, some shit like that. So
bad.
Like I said, the Hollywood's gonna be Meryl Streep, Patty Jenkins, and Jennifer Lawrence.
No men. No men.
No men.
No.
It might be better. Who knows?
It's true. I mean, they are pretty good.
They are.
So they're like just stalwarts. Anyway, so what is the other news story that we have going on?
The news story we have is that the DC streaming service that is coming up, who knows when, they'll have Titans, Young Justice Season 3.
Yeah, Season 3.
It is,
yeah.
and I don't know what else, but they're going to have a Harley Quinn animated series, a 26 episode, I think it's half an hour long series. And when I first saw it, I'm thinking this is going to be like the cartoony, the Adventures of Batman. It's just whatever.
Or even like that Batman and Harley Quinn movie that just came out. Yeah.
But they said that the audience they're going for with this show are adults. So I'm not saying there's going to be a whole lot of sex or whatever, but there may be quite a bit of gratuitous violence. The storylines may be a bit more adult, so we'll enjoy it more. It's not something that will be for kids. So at first I was like, no, I'm interested, but the thing is we still don't know, at least I don't know when the whole DC service is starting up.
Well, they haven't.
I don't know the cost.
They haven't announced anything about it except for what all they're going to have, which makes it kind of us believe that maybe the price isn't going to be like worthwhile. I don't know. That's just speculation at this point. But I actually like everything that they've done or they've announced with this DC streaming service because look at what you get. You're getting a adult Harley Quinn series. You're getting season 3 of Young Justice and pretty much all the other seasons of Young Justice, which is a great animated show. And if there's one thing that DC knows how to do, it's animation. Like they are second to none.
Yeah.
And I would have to say that this live action Teen Titans looks really intriguing. So there's so many different variables in there that I'm really intrigued about. I just want to know what the price is and I want to know when. But outside of that, I'm good. Like they've probably convinced me enough that I'll probably buy it no matter what. It's not like a CBS All Access thing where I'm not that concerned about it because I don't care about any of it. It's more like I like all of these DC movies. I like all of these DC animated shows. You're giving me Teen Titans, which is one of my favorite brands ever. Sign me up.
Yeah. The only other thing I have, and this is about streaming services, but it's Disney service, which I did see a couple of weeks ago where they said it's going to be less than Netflix.
See, that has me sold too. Like,
so
that's
now
awesome.
It's like if WB is only going to be doing, or DC is only going to be doing DC related things, maybe they're going to go the way that Disney is. I mean, Disney is kind of all over the place.
They are.
But DC is just one thing.
Sure.
So a price of $5.99
that'd be great.
a month would be good.
Well, okay, so
I don't know.
you said it's going to be less than Netflix. Let's be honest. Netflix...
That's Disney.
Right.
Said, so.
But as of now, Netflix just jumped up their prices to like $13.99. At least my price just got jumped up to $13.99.
You have the 4?
I have the 4.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah, because the 2, which I have, is around with tax everything. It's like $10 and change.
Right. So that could mean that Disney's going to like charge us maybe like $8.
It could,
you know,
yeah.
So it could not. It's probably not going to be like $5 or anything like that because it's Disney, so they'll get their money regardless. I will be interested to see if DC will, or Warner Brothers, I should say, follows in that same suit and will go the $8 route. And I wonder if that means that Netflix and everybody else will be dropping their prices too to compete.
No, they're not going to drop their prices. No.
Yeah, Netflix is so much in debt. They're trying to like pay off everything.
However, what Hulu is doing now, I think once you sign up for, I think it's either 3 or 6 months, the price is $5.99 a month.
What?
For Hulu, for new customers coming in. And once
I just got a new Hulu.
Once you're there, the price jumps up to whatever it's supposed to be, like $8.99 or $7.99.
See, I think ours is $11 for Hulu.
Yeah, okay.
but we did the commercial free thing.
Commercial free, yeah. See, I don't mind commercials.
I hate commercials.
So I'm good. I know a lot of people who hate them, and they're like, I don't give a fuck about
Look, it's one thing if it's a different commercial every time, but if it's the same commercial over and over and over again, and I can start to memorize the script of that commercial, I am done. Like, just get me out of this. I don't care. That's my biggest problem with the CW. Like, because there's sometimes where I'm not able to catch up on my own television, and I watch it like on whatever streaming service that CWTV.com.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the same 4 damn commercials every time. Like, it's always like the iPhone commercial, then it's followed by like a Samsung commercial, and then you've got one that's like a preview for like or it's a promo for like one of the other shows, and then it's always like another one that you just really, probably like Burger King, that you're just like, I just don't care. I hate it so much.
He hates it. Okay, so he hates commercials.
I do.
Harley Quinn's coming. We don't know the pricing, but it is coming. As for adults, so you'll look out for that one.
That too is cool because I don't think we've gotten an adult Harley Quinn show. Like, you're right. We had DC Animated. We had all those other Batman shows where they've shown interpretations of Harley. But the only way you could ever really experience an adult version of Harley Quinn was in the comics. So the way that it looks like they're going to go with this seems really awesome to me, because it's going to be game changing, because we haven't had this before. We haven't been able to experience this. Now I'm wondering though, are we going to get like Margot Robbie Harley Quinn? And by that I mean like the short shorts, kind of like I'm a badass, like Injustice 2 kind of Harley Quinn, or are we going to get the Harlequin Harley Quinn?
Well, the only thing they had for the accompanying story was this picture here, and you can see it's like a bar scene, and they have Harley Quinn in her red and black costume.
I mean,
that may just be the picture they're showing. It's just to show a Harley Quinn picture. I don't know what we're getting. We'll see when it comes out and if someone buys it.
I love that it's no longer taboo to use Harley. Because remember, before Suicide Squad, everybody was like on pins and needles on whether or not this was going to be good or not. Because Harley Quinn was that sacred character that you had to be just so right about.
And
But-
Nasni would
Murder
people.
Murder someone. But now it's become like accepted, and I think it's because of what happened with Suicide Squad. It's become accepted to just, and even Injustice 2, to have Harley Quinn in something, you know, to be able to use her to have like a different content, whether it be TV or movie or whatever, and utilize that character. And I like that. I like that they're no longer afraid to use this once sacred character.
Yeah. Well, again, like I said, we shall see what happens, and let's just move into the channel surfing portion.
Because there's no news.
Because
Thanksgiving.
no
Thanks.
news.
Thanks for no news.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Gobble gobble. First show up. Oh God, I don't know if people are gonna watch this and be like, "You're an idiot" or whatever. But The Punisher. I know a lot of people that like it. They saw no problems with it, and yeah, like I told him, the stories in it are great. It deals with a lot of subjects leading with stuff going on today, PTSD, people feeling left out in America, problems with vets and so on. And yeah, then there's all the Punisher stuff with his backstory and everything. Great stories in there, but the storytelling of this is extremely sloppy. It's slow, and they're just throwing things in the middle, and it's to me it was very disjointed, and I spent a long time trying to piece these things together, and you end up finding out that there's some of these things don't fit together. They're supposed to be separate, but I spent like 3 episodes going, well, why is this guy doing this? So what does he have to do with these people? Absolutely nothing. So yeah, you said you're 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah,
in?
which was amazing to me when I found out I was 4 episodes in, because I'm setting up a shelf and I'm watching the show, and I was invested in it, especially after episode 1, because episode 1 starts off like just like you want a Punisher series to start.
Yep, it's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, you've got Frank just killing everybody possible, and then, he just wants to be left alone, and then he ends up killing even more people toward the end. It's great. It's a great start to Punisher. And then episode 2 starts, and that's whenever it starts to kind of start grinding to a very slow pace. And I'm building this shelf in my study, and I'm putting everything together. And I get done. I set everything up. It looks all nice and clean. I'm starting to put everything inside of it. It's looking great. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm almost done, with episode 5, right? Nope. I sure as hell am in episode, it says 16 minutes left in episode 4. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This show is so long. It just feels long.
No, it's long.
Whereas, yeah, well, other Marvel Netflix shows, there's enough going on that it doesn't feel like it's too long. It's not slow. These episodes, while they're great, and showing a lot of exposition with what happened with Frank in Afghanistan and when he was with Cerberus and all these other different things and the PTSD like you're talking about. It's really cool to see that, and it's really intriguing and interesting. But there's so much that could be cut out, and especially the stuff with Micro. They spend way too much time with Micro. And you could have probably had maybe just one episode where they're trying to figure out how to really become a team and not trusting each other, and then ultimately they do, but instead it drags out along 5 episodes, and you're like, oh my god, when will Frank just kill a guy?
I mean, okay, in between episodes 2 and 9, there are some action sequences which are pretty good.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, when the Punisher gets down to business, starts doing his thing, people get shot, people get bones broken, explosions, not like Michael Bay explosions, but good enough that you could say the Punisher was here. But again, you're talking between episodes 2 and 9. That is a lot of story. Now, as he said, in the first episode, they set up this thing where we already knew there was going to be something with the military and his background or whatever. I thought from the first episode, they were setting up for a mob war between the Punisher and the Nucci family.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
And that whole episode, basically self-contained.
Mm-hmm.
There was really nothing going forward from that episode in the rest of it. So
it was literally an open and shut case.
Yeah.
That was it.
It was
this guy fell into the wrong crowd. They stole from the Nucci family, and they find out what this kid's name was. Frank literally kills everyone involved, and then gives the kid money and says, "Get out of town." That's it.
That's it. No mob war. It is all over. Anyone who would have went back and said something is dead. And the kid is the only one alive with all the money. Get out of town.
Yeah.
Then they start the Frank Castle story.
Part of me wishes I was that kid, but
yeah,
still.
The Frank Castle Micro story started. And at some point, they throw in this kid named Lewis Wilson, who is an Army vet, just got out. He goes to work for the Anvil Corporation, which is run by Billy Russo, guy that worked with Frank in the Marines in the Special Forces group. And
played by Benjamin Barnes, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this kid Wilson, he's unstable. He's got PTSD. Someone notices it.
He almost kills his dad.
They're like, hey, you need to go get help.
Yeah.
Go get help. And they kick him out of the Anvil company, and now he's feeling it's the PTSD, and this is the my country is abandoning me thing. He feels he's being pushed out, and the anger's growing, and he starts doing certain things, and that's a whole different story. This has nothing to do with anything of Frank Castle's past or whatever. This is just a kid that they did something with, and something happens, and Frank Castle ends up having to stop him. As far as his past, This is a separate story thrown right in the middle of the Punisher, and although it is great, it feels disjointed to me. As I told him, what they should have done was the kid that he got the money for, whatever, as we said, everything there was no mob war. No one's going to come looking for this kid. That kid could have been Lewis. Mm-hmm. And then Lewis left the construction company, went over to Anvil to get a job, and that leads you into Billy Russo, William Rawlins, whatever the guy's last name is, who ran the whole military operation. And that would have been fine. I would have liked that. Not just story stop, story hold, new story, okay, finish, all right, old story back, continue. Fuck y'all.
Well, and this kind of goes into what we've talked about several times on this show with the Marvel Netflix shows, is that they tend to never really, I guess they complete a story too quickly, or they just want to throw in as much as possible in one story or one season to I guess give the audience their money's worth. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing because we've talked about it with Luke Cage, where they killed Cottonmouth halfway through, and then they started a whole new story with
Diamondback, I think it was.
Yeah, Diamondback. But meanwhile, you still had, was it Black Miranda?
Mariah.
Black Mariah. She, now she's coming in, right? And they do this several times over and over again. I mean, they did it in Daredevil season 2, where you had Punisher was the main bad guy, but then, no, it's not Punisher, really. It's then this other guy. And they keep doing this. And then, once again, they've done it again in Punisher, where you're not really sure who the bad guy is because all these people keep taking, they keep taking their rise to the top as being the main bad guy, but then, oh, wait, here's Lewis Wilson. Just throw him in there. He's the bad guy now, and he's so weird.
He's the bad guy of the minute. It's like you picked up a Punisher comic book, you read the first issue, and that's it. It's a whole fully contained issue. And the second issue, they start something else. And so issue 2 and 3, whole different story. Then 4, 5, 6, 7, completely different story. 8, 9, 10, it goes back to 2 and 3, and that's how it felt to me. And again, good stories, sloppy storytelling.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see what BC has to say about this.
Yeah, BC's gonna say he loved it. He loved every minute of it.
What are you talking about? It was amazing. Like, nothing bad ever happens.
I've seen a lot of the critics online, a lot of guys from Collider, who are talking about it, the TV Talk guys, whatever, and they're like, "Oh, this is great, this is wonderful," and they said nothing bad about it, and I'm like, did y'all not see the middle of this?
Yeah, clearly not. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, okay, for a first outing, I give it a 3.5, honestly.
Out of
5.
Okay. Well, I mean it's decent.
Yeah, it's decent. Yeah. And the thing is, the way it ends, though, it's like they could never make a season 2. It's like that. They just kind of bookend it.
Oh, so it's just that's it.
Yeah. Well, they can continue on with a completely different story, but what they were telling for this season
is done.
Interesting.
Okay.
So,
and I know.
Now, I mean, there are things in it that you can go on from, but just the way that they ended it with Frank in whatever, you'll see.
Yeah. That's fine. I know that, we aren't the only ones to have issues with this show, too. Friend of the show, an SCNS vet, Jason, said that he had a lot of issues, mainly because there's not enough killing. And that's true, though, because, like, you think of Punisher, you think of the White Skull, he's wearing the body armor, going around, shooting people up, right? But he burns that suit by the end of the first episode. And you're like, oh... So you're not the Punisher anymore. Interesting. What the hell am I watching? I mean, he's still a badass, don't get me wrong. But, like, he barely kills anybody after the first episode.
But when he does,
it's beautiful. It's gorgeous, yeah. He does.
Okay, so I want to move on
from
Punisher.
Yeah, let's get away from Netflix in general. Let's move on to a different streaming service.
We're going to go to Hulu, and we're going to talk about Future Man.
God, this is the greatest show ever. Greatest show.
I had a chance to go see the Future Man panel at SDCC.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what this is. I'm not going. It's Seth Rogen, but whatever. I don't care. I got to go see this other thing. And right now, I wish I had went.
I wish you had too.
To see this thing, because the first episode, I put it on Twitter, where this kid starts masturbating. They come back in time, and it's like splat all over Wolf.
Yeah, it's so great.
And he's just, oh my God, I'm hit. Tiger, relax. It's just a little bit of cum. It's a lot of cum.
Okay, so if you haven't watched Future Man, or you're not really, you don't know anything about it, it's a show about a kid who there's nothing going for him in life. You know, he's a janitor at like a lab, and he's a big time gamer. He loves gaming, but he only
a lab that's trying to cure herpes.
A lab that's trying to cure herpes by jacking off possums to death.
To death.
This is already amazing. But he's a big time gamer, but he only plays one game. And forgive me, I can't remember what the name is right now. But it's a game that's unbeatable. Nobody's ever beaten it before. But he's the one that's gotten the closest. Well, after a run of bad luck, he decides, you know what? I'm going to blow off some steam. I'm going to play this game again. I'm just going to try to beat it. And he does. He's the first one to ever do it. Well, it turns out that video game was a training simulation for the Savior to be able to stop whatever's going on in the past from creating these creatures called biotics that have taken over the world in the future, and Tiger and Wolf are the resistance trying to stop that from happening. So they come in the past, and Wolf gets cummed on, and then and then it goes on from there. It is amazing because they go through a lot of time travel. They go back to the 80s, they go back to the 50s, or 40s, I should say, and they just keep going back and forth, screwing up time as they go, and it's just the best show ever because it's so funny, it's so captivating, and the character growth and the development in all of them is just amazing to watch. You're glued in from start to finish, from episode 1 to episode 13 for 30 minutes an episode, and it is just fantastic. Even the small attention to detail stuff just will have you rolling on the floor. It's so good.
There are things that they didn't even bother to go and fix. Like,
no.
The first time he goes back in time, he drops his iPhone.
Yeah.
And this guy from a black fraternity finds it, and when they go back in time, you now have the black apple.
Yeah, the Blapple.
The Blapple, yeah. It's not Apple anymore, it's Blapple.
And instead of Siri, it's Lamar. Like, Lamar, can you go ahead and set that alarm? I got you, bro. I want a Blapple. I would get rid of my Samsung right now if it meant that I had a Blapple. Like, that thing is amazing.
Lamar, do this for me. Ain't nothing but a thing, man. All right, I love my phone.
It's the best. It's so, like, even whenever they're using it as GPS, like, he's like, all right, bro, just turn right here. Oh, yeah, you made it to your destination. Like, yeah, Lamar. Love it. It's so great.
Now, I mean, okay, now, he even said, I said the same thing before when I heard the whole premise of the show, but in the show, when they came back in time, he's like, this is the last Starfighter. And they looked at him like, what? It's like, yes, I said this whole premise of the show is the last Starfighter. They send a video game back, you beat the game, they come and get you. But it's just a whole lot more funnier. The music is great.
It is.
Corey Hart is a central figure of this whole thing. Like, all the music in it was, well, not all, but a large majority of the music in it was Corey Hart's music.
Yes. And I love it because it's first introduced in like an Uber, but it's not Uber at this point. It's something else. And it's just, he's listening to Corey Hart. He's like, what is this sound? It's Wolf. And the guy's like, oh, it's Corey Hart. I like Corey Hart. And then from there, his character takes on a trajectory that nobody thought, nobody could have seen coming. I gotta say, though, favorite episode was the James Cameron episode. That one Like, I love every other one. It was so great. But that one had the best lines and the best just... I can't even explain it. Like, everything about that episode is amazing.
I'm pretty sure that Wolf fell in love with Sigourney. And
House.
Yeah, the house. The house computer.
A house computer. It's so great. Like... Evil Canadian. Evil Canadian James Cameron is on his way home. Supervillain James Cameron is on his way back. No, it was insane. I don't even remember. Psychotic Canadian. I don't even remember. It's so great.
I just loved when he dove to get this some type of plankton or whatever. Some energy source.
Yeah.
He dives into this tank, which is like just above freezing, and he's like, "Oh, he's swimming back up." And then you see like someone like they look like he's swimming up. He gets to the top and just like, bloop,
he's dead.
And they pull him out, and Sigourney's telling him, "You got to give mouth to mouth." And like, nope, you eat rat hole to rat hole
because like they eat rats.
They eat rats,
so they call their mouths rat holes, and it's the most disgusting thing to connect rat hole to rat hole.
So yeah,
it's so great.
Sigourney put down the thing of the
like a vacuum.
This suction tube, like a vacuum, and she said it won't reach. So they look at him and they're like, pick him up.
Yeah, because they don't want to give CPR.
They do not want to go rat hole to rat hole.
Great. It's so funny.
Yeah, this show is one of the funniest shows I've seen this year.
Seriously, yeah. Like I talk on the show that I love Wrecked and I love Silicon Valley, but Future Man like outshadows both.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if we're talking network TV, it's the Orville. If we're talking streaming, it's Future Man.
It's so great.
If you have not seen it, do yourself a favor. But from what I'm seeing on Twitter, a lot of people are watching it.
Well, they should. I mean, I don't know if we could have spread the word enough to watch this show. And Seth Rogen's assistant, thanks for liking our tweets.
Yes,
appreciate that. Yeah,
so much.
Yeah, but that's Hulu actually had another show come out very recently that is pretty big news. But unlike Future Man, this is an episodic release. Future Man, all the episodes are out right now for you to just binge right now. But Marvel's Runaways.
That was odd.
Yeah, it was odd because Hulu never does that.
Yeah.
But Marvel's Runaways released the first 3 episodes this past Tuesday, and we've gone ahead and watched every single one of them. And I love the Runaways, the comic series.
I've never read the comic series, so I'm going in brand new.
Which is fine. And I will tell you that they have changed a few things. Mm-hmm. Because the whole show, the whole premise behind it, and even the comic, was that these are kids who find out that their parents, who they thought were like heroes to them, are actually supervillains. And they now have to go on the run to get away from them, but meanwhile are trying to hone in their own powers. But they only can talk to each other about it, but all of them don't even know how to adjust themselves. So it's a really cool show, and all kinds of different crazy stuff happens. But in this, it takes on a different tone because they're not running away just yet.
No.
Because they're allowing the parents to take more of a center stage role. And it's not so much about the kids as it is you're trying to figure out whether these parents are actually bad or good. Like, you can tell some of them are like really bad. But then there are other ones that there are a lot of measures of gray that you cannot figure out whether or not these guys are bad or not.
Yeah, it's like the 2 parents who are scientists.
Yes,
who are making that
the Raptor.
The Raptor and
which even
and other devices for the group.
Yeah,
they seem to be pretty good people. They're just working alongside bad people.
Right.
So,
whereas in the comics...
I'm trying to look at them seeing like, there's got to be something bad about them, but sure. I can't see it.
Well, in the comics, yeah, there are those little like shades of gray there. But at the same time, like in the first issue, you knew those guys are supervillains. You didn't get much context, But you felt, because you're seeing it through the eyes of teenagers, like, and they're that teenage angst, where they see their parents do one bad thing and they're like, oh my God, my parents are going to kill me. And then they go on the run. You don't get that so much in this one. Like, they still stay around, and there's that little, there's that conflict where you can tell, like, they're afraid of their parents, but they're just kind of adjusting and going with it. But they haven't gotten to that point where they are runaways just yet.
Not yet.
And, like, so they've taken a lot of liberties with it. And because of that, it's allowed the show to go at a very slow pace.
That's what I told you.
Yeah.
It's moving very slow.
And to be fair, even the comics kind of started out pretty slow. But the first issue had you so reeled in that you're like, oh, I don't even care. Let's just keep on this magical ride we're on. Mm-hmm. On this one, it's kind of, because they spend 2 episodes going over the same day. That kind of doesn't allow it to really grow so quickly as we would like, because in the first episode, you see it from the kid's point of view. And the second episode, you see it through the parents' point of view. So again, you get that sort of dichotomy of you're not sure whether or not these parents are bad or not, because they have their own motivations and they have their own reasons for doing what they're doing. Now, the next episode gets a little bit more interesting because the kids are starting to unite. They're starting to become a team in a way, but they're not yet that close-knit group that they're supposed to be just yet.
They're kind of going into cliques within the group right now.
Yeah. You've got Gert, who's in love with, and I'm horrible with names. Like,
I can't remember any names right now except for Gert and Molly.
Yeah, and then you've got Molly trying to figure out her powers. Which
sucks.
Yeah, right. Which, like, I don't want to go into it, but she's got super strength. But for now, you'll see what she is later. And then you've got Alex and Nico starting to kind of get together a little bit. You see like a little budding
romance between them.
And then it's so many different things are going on. It's really it's an intriguing show if you don't know anything about the characters. But I will say this. There are certain characters that you are going to get attached to. I don't think it's going to be at the end of this season. Could be at the end of next season, what have you. But some of them aren't going to make it. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, I actually kind of ruined some stuff for me.
Did you?
Because I went to Wikipedia.
No, you shouldn't have gone to Wikipedia.
I didn't know. I didn't know about it.
Oh,
so
no.
I went down, I was like, oh, no. Yeah, like you said, some people don't make it. Hopefully, we can go beyond this season and have everyone intact. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's like both sides, parents and
yeah, that's both sides.
But I mean, yeah, I like it. As I said, it's moving a little bit slow. Mm-hmm. But even though it's slow, it still has me asking, well, what's going on here? Who's doing this?
Yes.
Who's that guy? They're filling the layers are filling in the holes, but they're leaving just enough holes in the next episode to have you interested to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
So they're going to keep you watching. I like it. I'm waiting for the next episode. I really don't have that much more to say about it. I know BC saw the first episode at New York Comic Con.
He did, and he loved that one more than he liked the second and third episode. Mm-hmm. For me, as a Runaways fan, it makes me want to go back and read the comics again, which is a good thing, because it's a good show. It just hasn't found its feet just yet, but it's going to, and you can see that it's going to. And I think for any Runaways fan, even the changes that they have made, it's okay. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's not one of those things where it's just like, oh, I hate this show because they changed all these things. It's not like you can really get that nerd rage over it, but at the same time, it's good. I enjoy it. It's one that I'm going to be really invested in for a while.
Okay. Yeah. You wanted to talk about another one?
Was
it one that you brought up?
Which one?
Oh God, I can't remember. Oh, Arrowverse stuff.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, my God. I'm done.
We're like,
Yeah. So, Arrowverse. I'm caught up on everything. I wasn't for a while, and I just recently, because of the Thanksgiving break, I was able to watch everything over. Supergirl. Oh, my God. Fantastic.
I haven't watched Supergirl for maybe like 2 weeks now,
Okay.
so I gotta catch up there.
You definitely do, because they brought back Mon-El. And no. I don't hate Mon-El. Like, I was cool with it. Like, the way they brought him back and the way that where he's going now, like his direction, I'm down. Like, I'm cool because it does not affect Kara in the way you think it's going to affect Kara.
So she's not all schoolgirl in love again and all that?
Like, toward the end, you're going to be like, oh, crap. So, yeah, just wait for that. That's a good one. Also, the way they've finally given us a villain for Supergirl for the rest of this season. And that one was cool to see. Then, Arrow, which is on Tuesday nights. Or not Arrow, Flash, which is on Tuesday nights. I did not hate this last episode of Flash. I was like, okay. So we needed about 6 episodes to get to this. And so what happened was they finally introduced the Thinker. And they gave you a backstory on who he is, what he's doing. Or not necessarily what he's doing, but like how he became who he is. And there was a lot of conflict between him and Barry. And it made for some really exhilarating TV. So it's a really good episode to watch. Legends is always great. I've loved what's going on with that. And then Arrow. Arrow was good because what they did with this last episode was that they set up how Ollie is going to be back in the Green Arrow suit for when they do Crisis on Earth X. Mm-hmm. Which is their big crossover event that's going to be happening this week. So basically what happens, I don't want to spoil it for you. Are you okay with me saying it?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go for it.
So what happens is that Diggle, it's revealed that Diggle has those tremors and it's getting worse and he's going through withdrawals. And so Ollie finds out and he's like royally pissed that this guy kept this from him because he would have never let him become the Green Arrow if he had known. So he gets a bad prognosis that the tremors are so bad, it's caused nerve damage on his spine. And if he doesn't get this fixed, he's never going to be able to walk again if he goes out on the field. So now there's no Green Arrow, which means that Ollie's like, I need to come back and do this.
Question.
Yeah.
Felicity shouldn't be walking, but she...
They acknowledge that
Okay.
Curtis tries to take care of it, but he's going through withdrawals, so he's having issues with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I totally understand. They get to that part. But anyway, so Ollie decides to put the hood back on and is now back part of Team Arrow, except he's totally lying to his son about it. So it's kind of fun to watch. So that's why he's back.
That's all Ollie does.
He really does. So now he's back in the fold for whenever they do Crisis on Earth X. So it's going to make things a little bit interesting. But Crisis on Earth X is starting this week. It's going to be 2 hours every, like for Monday and Tuesday. So
Monday,
2
Tuesday.
hours for 2 nights.
Yeah, because they're moving Arrow from that Thursday to
Monday, right?
Monday,
Yeah.
yes.
And they're keeping Flash
just for
and
that.
Legends back to back on Tuesday. So I thought it was going to be Crisis on Infinite Earths, but instead it's Crisis on just Earth X.
Yeah.
And this is a Nazi planet where all of the heroes are now just supervillains.
Yeah, well, they even explained it in the commercial where you have your 52 Earths.
Right.
When they had the last Flashpoint.
Because, the new 52.
It cut down everything to 52 Earths. But there was a 53rd one called Earth X. And that's the one where the Nazis won World War II. And the heroes we know as the Justice League are now the new Reichsmen. Mm. So you have Overman. I put it in an article on Cinelinks. Overman is Superman, Leatherwing Batman, Underwater Man, Aquaman, blah, 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 blah. So since they don't have those characters to use, we're just using the ones we have. So Supergirl will be Overgirl. Green Arrow, don't know his name. Flash should still be blitzing.
Right. Which is they're essentially using Reverse Flash.
Yeah. They're also going to introduce the Ray in a live action role, and the guy playing him, Russell Tolver, I believe his name is. Mm-hmm. He will be doing the animated Flash, the animated Ray on CW Seed, which is supposed to start this fall. I'm guessing after this crossover event, they're going to start the Ray.
Nice.
Freedom Fighters the Ray. So you can watch that animated series on CW Seed afterwards. Looks good to me. I'm always good with heroes fighting their alter egos or their evil half. Ever since Star Trek Mirror Universes, I like, okay, evil side, let's fight. Let's do it. So, yeah, it looks good.
So I'm going to be intrigued, though, and maybe you know this or not, but I'm going to be intrigued if after this crossover event, if that's going to be the winter finale. And then they're not going to come back to talk more about any of the stories that they're currently in until next season, until next year.
From what I believe it is supposed to be the last one, I really haven't looked into it. Mm-hmm. But from what I understand, it's supposed to be, this is it, and that's the fall finale.
The way that Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow went, I could totally see it. I could totally see that being a possibility. For Legends, I kind of feel like they could use one more episode to really keep you in, but it's still a good show. I want them to have a moment where they're talking to the bad guy this year. I can't remember who it is. Starts with an M.
Who on
Legends?
Legends?
Yeah.
Well, wasn't Damien Dark?
He's there, but not like he's not the big bad. Like there's a bigger guy.
Oh no, I don't know.
Maris
I didn't watch last week, so I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, I just kind of wish that they would have that for like one altercation with him. But I understand if they don't, if they want to like let that breathe for a little bit and then have him come in the next year. But it has wrapped everything up in a nice, neat little package, so that way they can all do their crossover event and then go on a break for a little bit.
Well, I know last year they did the crossover, and some shows had another episode, then they went to their break. So, again, like I said, I didn't really look too deep into it. We may have one more. This may be it. I'm thinking crossover event, they're done.
Yeah. All right. Makes sense.
So, all right.
Speaking of done,
we're going to talk about those shows that are leaving TV. And one of them, well, I think everyone knows this is coming off the air. And that is House of Cards. And if you don't know why, if you watch the beginning of this episode about guys touching people, that's the reason why.
So bad.
Another one that is going away, Me, Myself, and I.
Which I heard was, I know a lot of people that actually like that show. I know you were kind of
There would have been a few. I mean, the first episode, there was just too much jumping back and forth.
Yeah.
I watched maybe 3 episodes, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people felt that way, but I know a few people that they loved that show, and they were actually really disappointed when it was put off the air.
People that watch a majority of CBS TV?
Probably, yeah, maybe.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
And the other one, 10 Days in the Valley.
That died quick.
Yeah. Now, I mean, this one got some bad press
really
before it even came out.
Kind of an unnecessary amount of bad press.
Yeah, we watched the first episode. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't anything great.
I was interested in what was going to happen, but I mean, it wasn't one that was added to my show list.
Yeah, I mean, I watched 2 episodes and I was like, yeah, I'm watching too much other stuff, so I'm just going to put this one on the back burner. But yeah, it's done. It's not coming back next season. So yeah, I mean, I hope they solve their mystery because this is the only chance to get it done.
Well, or either that or Kira Sedgwick will never find her daughter.
Excuse me. Renewed shows. The Good Place.
Yay! I mean, yay! I don't know which one.
Yay! Yeah. That's a yay. The first season, I told you guys, I told him, I was like, the first episode, I was like, nope, this show is just, And I didn't watch it again until the season had finished. And everything was on Hulu, and I sat there and I binge watched through the whole thing. And by the end, I was like, Thank God I gave this show another chance.
Yeah, it's a great show. It really is awesome.
No, not even me. Thank God there are people out there who continue to watch this show that got it renewed because
Probably
that
because
show
of
is awesome.
Kristen Bell and Ted Danson. A lot of people watched. But
Well,
it's
I watched
fantastic.
because of Kristen Bell initially.
Sure.
The second season took a little bit of a change from the first season where Ted Danson, Michael, is not really in charge anymore. He's keeping a very thin grasp on the power he has.
As well, he shouldn't be. I mean, he screwed up a lot, and they made you. They understood why.
All the characters who were being tortured, but he gets in a few good ones on him every now and then, like the trolley.
Oh, the trolley was great. Yeah, we talked about this. But anyway, it's great that they're going to have another season. I've been missing this show because they haven't had a new episode on for feels like 3 weeks now. So I'm excited we're going to get a whole other.
Oh yeah, they went into their break already.
See, I didn't know that because I watch it on Hulu, so I didn't know that. But I was like, man, I keep waiting for this show to come on. So the fact that you're waiting and you're anticipating it means that this is a good enough show to have a renewal for.
Yeah. The next one on Netflix is Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I tried watching this. I'm out.
I've never watched it.
I tried to, and I get the appeal, but for me, I don't have 2 hours to spend watching a show where they're basically making fun of other movies, bad movies. I'm like, okay, that's cool, I guess. I'm glad they have fun with it. I mean, there's a market for it.
Maybe when we do this stuff at conventions where they have the riff tracks, I might sit in there for a little while if it's a good movie. But yeah, if I want to watch a movie where people are going to make fun of it and just clown around, I'll go pay money and go see the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
No, there's that.
Because that one's worth it.
I mean, or I'll just turn it on to Hallmark Channel and my wife and I will do it ourselves. Because right now, it's the holiday season, and that means that Hallmark is playing all their very terrible Christmas movies, which means my wife and I sit there and watch it and ridicule those terrible Christmas movies the entire time. It is greatness. Because those movies, and I know it's controversial because a lot of people don't understand why I'm saying this, but they are one line away from being softcore porn. They really are. And bear with me because they are poorly written, poorly shot, and they're just swear to God. I was watching this one where there was this girl had a crush on this guy who we find out pretty early on, she literally knows nothing about him. And I'm like, how the hell do you have a crush on this one guy? That already is grounds for a softcore porn. I'm just going to say it. It is, because real people don't develop crushes unless they've actually talked to the guy before. I mean, it's just what happens.
Maybe he's just pretty.
He was pretty, but he was also a robot. He was a robot. They didn't say it. They didn't say he was a robot. But the way that he was a cold-hearted bastard makes you know that guy's a robot. Because he didn't even know what Christmas was. This guy was he's trying to sell this marketing campaign for a freaking cell phone. And he's like, the guy, he does his pitch and then the client's like, well, it doesn't really say Christmas. And he's just like, what do you mean? We're going to put snow in there. And he's like, but that doesn't really mean Christmas. And now he's going on a 2-hour-long journey to try and figure out what Christmas is. Meanwhile, you've got this overexcited woman who's just like, I know what Christmas is. And, here's what Christmas is. Christmas is love and family and joy. I'm not close to my family. That's right, because you were made in a lab. We know it. You're just not going to admit it. You're a cold-hearted bastard. That's what he was. Anyway.
The thing is, okay, I can understand your part. I just picture Alex sitting there eating something like, what is wrong with this bitch?
Oh, absolutely. That is exactly what she does. That is exactly what she does. My wife, I love her to death. She is the saltiest woman in the world. She definitely is. And it's amazing to watch stuff with her. It is just fantastic.
There's some of the stuff you tell me that you're watching and you will sit there and watch the whole thing and ask you, so, who is that? And you're like, you watch the same thing that I did.
Yeah. Yep, pretty much.
So, yeah.
So, I think the moral of the story is to just turn it on to Hallmark Channel right now. So that way you can ridicule bad movies.
Yeah.
That's clearly the moral of the story.
if you're not into the whole Mystery Science Theater.
Also, I'm not sure if we'll be back in time for me to say this later, but the Grand Tour starts up their second season on Amazon Prime on December 7th. And if you haven't watched that show, I would just go ahead and binge watch it. It's 10 episodes, an hour long. It's about a 10-hour thing you got to deal with, but it's my favorite car show to watch. It is hilarious. It is fun. It's informative, and it's just a good old time for about an hour. You could just turn it on in the background while watching something and then like look over and be like, oh my God, what the hell are they doing? And it's just amazing to watch. Like other car shows where they're trying to like renovate a car or whatever, like or restore a car, it just doesn't appeal to me because there's nothing fun about that. This is like three guys who are just having a good old time doing stupid ass challenges with cars. And I mean stupid ass challenges. They tried to make a coral reef with cars in the middle of the Caribbean. It is fucking hilarious to watch. And they lose two of the cars on the way. It's great.
Okay. How did they lose a car?
You have to watch to understand how they lost two cars on the way. It's so great.
This is on Amazon, right?
Amazon Prime, yeah.
Okay, all right.
And it's called The Grand Tour. It's all the guys who did Top Gear who got fired from BBC, and they went to Amazon, and Amazon gave them their own show like Top Gear, but with a whole different spin on it.
And Amazon has the money to just lose cars.
Oh, it's great.
Whatever.
It's just so great. I love that show so much.
Okay, so I guess that brings us to a close right now, and as TV starts to hibernate, so will we. We've got a lot of things coming up next month. I mean, you've got Christmas, but then there's Star Wars. We're having a Cinelinks party.
Yep.
So weekends are going to be busy, so we will not be filming. I may try to put out some reviews of certain shows that are out, but...
And I'll do one for the Grand Tour. I am fully happy about doing that.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a great
sure.
show.
That'll be fine. We can videotape
awesome.
something and
Absolutely.
put it up just so you guys have something to watch while we're doing other things and, you know, enjoying the holiday season like you should be. And speaking of things coming up, I said we have a tournament for UGF.
Yeah, the next tournament is going to be on December 8th. We're going to be making a big announcement today. So keep an eye out on Cinelinks.com for the big announcement on what the game is going to be. Tomorrow, our champion, Double LP, is going to be announcing the championship game for the tournament on December 8th. So you're not going to want to miss that. That's going to be our last tournament of 2017. And we're also going to have a huge announcement for what we're going to be doing to start off 2018. It's going to be freaking amazing. So just check it out. You can follow us at Cinelinks UGF. You can also follow me directly at Move the Joystick. And I would also promote a lot of other shows. But again, we're about to start hibernating. So just you can find everything about me at Move the Joystick. So
Yeah, and I am Rob. You can find me on Cinelinks up. God damn it.
what?
Ending off this stuff is just so you can find me on Channel Control on Twitter.
I mean, you can still find you on Cinelinks. It's true.
Yeah, you can find me on Cinelinks.
Because you can find both of us writing articles and reviews on Cinelinks.com.
Yeah. But you can contact me. Channel Control on Twitter. Channel Control TV on Instagram, which I barely post anything there.
What you need
and I
to
need
do-
to post more stuff there, but I post on other things, and I just...
You need Hootsuite. That's what you need.
That's what I do need that.
Yeah. Here's what you need to do.
But see, this thing. The thing is, Instagram doesn't have something where you can schedule posts.
But Hootsuite will. Hootsuite does. You can schedule things on Hootsuite.
For Instagram?
I think so.
I thought Instagram had that blocked.
Shoot, I don't even know. But we'll see.
Now for Twitter, yeah, you can. I can use TweetDeck for that.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, what you need to do during this break, this is your homework, is just go in front of a mirror and do what BC does. REALJACK Just like always. Just go through the close every single time.
I'll try it.
Which you can find The Real Jackass BC at REALJACKASSBC.
He is at home, probably.
Bro, he's in Austin. He was in Austin.
Recovering.
He might still be in
he-
Austin.
is he over-
He
in
might be
Austin?
drunk in Austin right now.
Okay, so BC's drunk in Austin. Matt has to go out and run off to the gym. And I got some brand new video games I bought that I need to go play. So, see you later, folks, and Merry Christmas. And
Happy holidays.